Are you struggling with the long irons in your bag? Then a perfect alternative could be a hybrid. That's what we're talking about today on the Everyday Golfer with an Everyday Golfer. So let's get him on and let's talk about where he's looking to change in his long irons. So 6-iron we're talking about today, Dave. Welcome back to the channel as always.
How are you doing?
Here. Very good. Yourself?
I'm all right.
He's all right.
Bit worried about Leeds, but you know.
We're all worried about Leeds. But he's washed his head cover and it survived, so that's good news. So we're talking today, obviously, about a 6-iron. This is where Dave's obviously thinking about changing, aren't you, Dave?
Well, yeah, because if you remember, Chris, you let me try a 6 hybrid, which was Mrs. Robinson, James's wife's, that she'd got. So we decided to give it a shot and ate it really well, better than the 6-iron that I'd got. So in the back of my head I keep thinking, should I swap out my 6-iron for a 6 hybrid?
Yeah, and that's what we're going to look at today. So it's all about thinking about where you need to change in your golf bag. So we've got a par 3 here. It's he's playing 145 yards to the flag, which is Dave's perfect 6-iron. Again, Dave's got to hit this flush, get it launching nice and high because there is a tree overhanging, and this is where Dave's not always confident. Pulled it a little bit left, fading back. And that should be pretty much pin high, Dave. So
yeah.
Not a bad strike, would you say?
Yeah, it was slightly bottomy if anything, but it was all right. It wasn't too bad.
Right, and we're going to give Dave, we've tested these on the channel last week, and this is where Dave said he would potentially change. So the 11 hybrid iron set, he wasn't so sold on the ones below this. So the 7-iron, 8-iron pitching wedge, 9-iron and pitching wedge, didn't really suit him, and he was comfortable with his irons.
They just showed too much loft, Chris. They just, for me, anyway.
And you preferred your irons?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So obviously here we've got the 6-iron hybrid. We're going to give that a go now out here, and this is where you might start to change. There are now 7 hybrids. Obviously you can get plenty of options, or the 11 set, which has been fantastic for some golfers to just still keep enjoying it. Again, very similar shafts in here for Dave, nice and light, nice and regular. But the hybrid designed to get that little bit more launch. Although Dave's decided to prove us wrong and get one coming out low, but that'll be the middle of the green, Dave. And again, an off-centered hit though with your iron, what do you think that would have done? Do you think that would have gone into that bunker?
It would have definitely gone into that bunker because it was right off the bottom, Chris.
Yeah, we might not have got as much speed off that. But over
it rescued me a little bit. We're not allowed to call them that anymore.
No, we're not. So over the ball, Dave, did you feel a little bit more confident with that, would you say?
Yeah.
I think if we look down
I think my real problem was that I stood on an old divot.
So obviously looking down, we can see obviously a bigger head. We've got the lines on the face. Lines on the face, Dave, would you say that helps you line the ball a little bit better with a hybrid?
It does. But like I say, Chris, once it gets past a 6-iron, once it gets to 7, I just think it's showing too much of those lines for me.
Yeah, right. Let's get up there. Both on, Dave. Obviously, first 6-iron pitch just up here. Obviously, just going to the green with the Tacoma. Again, regarding not a perfect strike, but like we've discussed last week, we've got the forgiveness and the front to back dispersion has still got you relatively pin high, which is why Dave loves his Tacomos. Obviously with the hybrid, we know it was very low on the face, a little bit of thin. It's on the green. That's where the forgiveness from those hybrids might help an everyday golfer out. They should launch high, but even if you miss strike one like Dave there, it's on the green, and you've got a chance of getting out with a par. Let's move on to the next. So on this short par 4, we're going to hit the 4 hybrid from the 11 set. Dave doesn't carry a 4-iron, he does have a 4 hybrid, a Maverick 4 hybrid. So interesting here, obviously price wise, we know that the Maverick hybrid comes in well over £200, whereas these 11 hybrids work out at around about £85 a club. So again, obviously premium shafts, KBS shafts, so the components are good.
Exactly the same shaft, Chris.
Exactly the same shaft, very interesting. So the same shaft, but obviously nearly £200 difference. I think the hybrid's around about 285 from Callaway. So let's see how they perform. Again, it's not always, well here we're just talking about, you know, budget clubs. Are they performing? So at the end of the day, all we're looking for is performance. We're looking for something that's going to help Dave and help you. It doesn't always have to be the most expensive, although we all know we like to get that. So, pretty good strike, Dave?
That was a decent strike, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So just up the right hand side, drawing back nicely. So that was Dave's Callaway Maverick. I'm going to switch over to the 11. this is where obviously you need to think about your set and think about the makeup. So obviously, where are you changing over? Dave's seriously considering changing over from a 6 iron now. He's happy with his 7 iron, but a 6 iron could be something that we do change obviously going into the rest of the season. We know the strongest part of his game by his stats that you'll see on screen is actually his iron play. You'll also see on this week that we are going to be doing a driver lesson, because that is where Dave is losing. So starting down the left, just a little lower ball flight and fading back. So it'll be very interesting into that breeze, how that far that's gone. Was that struck pretty well, Dave?
Yeah, decent that.
Yes, that was struck pretty well. As you can see or hear, it is very breezy out there, but that looks like it's gone a good distance, Dave.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And down at the golf ball, again, for the nearly a £200 difference, what are you saying? Are you saying obviously there's much difference? Do you prefer one? Obviously we see the chevron on the Callaway. We see both have got lines on the face. The Callaway, if anything, have got even more lines on. So looks-wise, Dave, which one are you favouring?
Daft as it sounds, the 11. Right. Reason being, there aren't as many lines on it.
Yep.
And instead of having that chevron, it's got that cross.
Yeah.
Which helps you line it up, because that's where the ball is, rather than just a general chevron as to where it might be.
Yeah, it gets you more lining up in the centre as opposed to on the heel or the toe.
Yeah.
Very interesting to say it's a lot cheaper, Dave.
Yeah, might have to invest, Chris. Again.
You can see up there just about, we can see the ball from the Callaway, which was struck pretty well. We can see straight away we've got another 10 yards out of this 4 hybrid. So straight away, Dave, there, quite a bit of a difference. So from here now, we're going to hit the pitching wedge from both of the sets. So from the Takomo and the hybrids. This is certainly where Dave didn't like that, but we'll retrieve that ball and we'll hit them in. Here, Dave's going to start with the hybrid pitching wedge. A lot of loft on that face, looking down at that, Dave. You can obviously see a lot of that.
Yeah, you can see a lot of club, which I don't know.
Obviously, because it's not really a deep face, it looks. Does it look harder to hit than your pitching wedge? Do you feel less confident in that?
I wouldn't say it were be harder to hit. I don't know. I'm just not sure that I'll hit it right.
Well, let's see then, Dave. So, still should launch high. We've got Dave's perfect pitching wedge distance here, a little bit into the breeze, so it'll be interesting here if, obviously it's harder for Dave to get this to the hole, because it's launching a little bit higher and it's going to have more landing angle. He'll be able to do more with his pitching wedge. So again, a little bit of a pull. Distance-wise looks pretty good, but a little bit of a pull there, Dave.
Yeah.
Hard to commit to that.
It was, yeah.
Right, let's grab your set pitching wedge. So Dave's got his standard pitching wedge. Obviously the difference there of looking at that looks obviously more conventional down at the ball, Dave. So feel more confidence over that. So we should be able to get this again. A good swing on this. So same ball position, even though we changed hybrid, the ball position should be a little bit back in the stance. The same with the hybrid. We're still going to take a little bit of a divot, just like that from Dave. Launching nice and high. Get it there onto the middle of the green, Dave, so much easier to hit there.
I think that's spun, Chris.
Yeah, a bit of spin on that. Well, spun back as it was on the green, has come back a little bit. So far, Dave, we can see that you're probably right, obviously, from last week. You wouldn't go for the lower stuff, but you would stick, obviously, with the higher stuff.
I think that the 3 hybrid through to the 6 hybrid would really suit somebody like me. It's just, I find it really difficult. From 7 out to pitching wedge, just find it really difficult to commit to them.
Yeah, and that's where obviously you need to go and try these clubs, guys, but that's been a comparison of those. We know Dave Takomo's are right. We know that now he's going to look at maybe going to, well, maybe spending some money on one of these 11 6 iron hybrids to help him lower his scores and help him lower the handicap.